Bienvenidos al podcast de Edición Especial de KS. Numéricamente esta sería la primera edición, pero preferí que fuese como una edición especial. Este podcast simboliza muchas cosas para mí. Cosas que hace un año veía imposibles, imaginables. Cosas que ahora sí que es un proyecto que he ido pensando, pero que nunca pensé que llegaría a ese alcance. De creer en un sueño y empezar a hacer las cosas. En el podcast anterior hablaba con Riot Mort sobre los errores y cómo tomarlos, apreciarlos, entenderlos e ir mejorando como ser humano. Considero que esta entrevista que hice para Riot Mort, si ya lo leyeron el título, eres una persona muy importante para la comunidad de, de Riot Games. Y se me concedió la entrevista. Yo esperaba que fuera otro tipo de entrevista, de otra manera, pero no fue así. Fue, ¿sabes qué? En este momento, de esta manera, y disculpen el ruido de los helicópteros, fue de esta manera y tómalo, ¿no? Tengo ese tiempo que te puedo dar y se lo aprecio, de verdad, se lo aprecio con todo el corazón. No saben qué tan importante para mí es esa persona porque me ayudó en la parte de su juego, Teamfight Tactics, me ayudó en la parte de mi cabeza, de mi memoria. Y gracias a todo ello, pues me ha ayudado demasiado. Entonces, de una manera u otra, a pesar de que mastiqué el inglés, se me olvidó pronunciarlo. I speak English very well, but shit happens. Y no quería subirlo. Primero estaba pensando no subirlo, después sí, después no. No dormía. ¿Por qué? Porque sabía la magnitud de lo que pasó, ¿no? Y lo veía muy mal. De verdad lo veía muy mal. Porque pocas personas tienen esta oportunidad. Y aún así, ¿quién soy yo para decir no lo voy a subir? Somos seres humanos, cometemos errores. En el podcast pasado cometí muchos errores gramaticales, pero aprendemos. Si no aprendiera de todos esos errores, no tiene caso seguir trabajando o seguir haciendo las cosas. De verdad. Entonces, mm, sucedió. Estoy muy feliz de que fuese así. Riot Mort, thank you very much. Thank you for the interview. And that's it. ¿Qué les puedo decir? Estoy muy feliz por haberlo hecho. Hace un año no hubiera pensado que lo hubiera seguido. Pensé en grande, muy grande, y lo estoy haciendo. Y créanme, voy a seguir haciendo cosas así. Porque me encanta lo que estoy haciendo. Es en serio. Me fascina. Entonces, espero que lo disfruten igual que yo. Estaba muy nervioso. Van a escuchar para los Spotify, van a escuchar un ruido así como de juego. Voy a tratar de bajarle un poco a ese sonido y subirle más a lo que son las voces. Ese sonido se debe porque estábamos jugando una partida de Teamfight Tactics, un juego de Riot Games. Y pues eso es todo. Las cosas pasan por algo y hay que superarlas. Siempre hay que sacarle el lado provecho, sobre todo. Verle el lado bueno. Aprender de todo. Y es un buen momento para aprender todas estas cosas. Gracias de nuevo, Riot Carmelito. Gracias por haberme dado la oportunidad también tú. Sé que yo había puesto en el render final la edición de la despedida y el agradecimiento y todo. No se subió por otro host, pasaron cosas, tampoco la miniatura, por varias cosillas, ¿no? Fueron varios detalles que también ahí tengo que ver, aprender. Eran las 4:30 de la mañana, estaba muy nervioso y empezar a programar las cosas, ¿no? Y eso es empezar a notar fallos y sacarles provecho, aprender de ellos. Gracias y espero que lo disfruten. Chao. Esperen. El jueves sale la entrevista con Riot, Brujo. Está muy buena, me reí. Dura 1 hora y media. Pero como diría Jackie, no tiene nada de desperdicio. Y que lo disfruten.
Invite game.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, you're gonna have to turn off your echo somehow.
Okay, let me silence the stream. There is. Okay, nice to meet you, Riot Mort. My name is Ilwi Camina. That's the way to spell them. Ilwi Camina.
Gotcha.
Okay. Let's start there. Hey, first of all, hola, muy buenos días a todos. Muchas gracias por apoyar este podcast. Estamos por comenzarlo. Mi nombre es Ilwi Camina. Soy creador y pertenezco a lo que es Son of KS, un proyecto nuevo que estamos comenzando en Latinoamérica. Amo y me encanta el TFT. Gracias a Dios tengo la entrevista más importante que pueda tener en este momento, que es con uno de los creadores de TFT, que su nombre es Riot Mort.
Hello.
Okay, let's start. Hello, very good day, and thanks for supporting this podcast project for Latin America. Don't worry about my next patch. If you remember on Twitter, talk about what happened to me in this song. There is not something of importance at this time. Very important things, and would like it to be present to the community. Who is Riot Mort right now?
Sure.
Who are you?
You're asking who I am?
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now I am the lead designer on TFT. My job is to be responsible for the entire design of TFT. So primarily I work with our product manager, who right now is Riot Maple. And anytime we make a decision that will affect the game and how it affects players, I need to be aware of it and talk about what works, what doesn't. I'm also in charge of any solutions that need to be thought of. So let's say, for example, we're like, hey, we need to come up with a new monetization strategy. I have to help with that, be aware of that, and be okay with it. And so as the design lead, if anything goes wrong, that's on me. And if anything goes right, that's because I worked with good people and helped enable them to do really cool things. So that's my job.
That's nice to hear. And TFT has generated his fandom, which is this crazy thing. Which is the craziest thing you ever seen to see it, both a good, bad things, and surprise to you?
The craziest things I've seen on TFT?
Yes.
Okay, hang on. Let me grab my item here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Craziest thing I've seen in TFT. I don't know. Like, there's so many. Like, there's crazy good and crazy bad, right? Like, we were talking today about how a crazy bad bug was like, for 8 minutes on live, the entire game was broken because we accidentally typed in a number wrong, which is kind of crazy. There's also crazy from a balance perspective. So, like, okay, here's one. During development, when we were working on Sivir, the designer who was making Sivir was like, I want Sivir to be a really simple champion whose passive is Ricochet. So it wasn't even a spell. And I said, I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure you could make her AD 0 and I would break the game. So the very next playtest, what I did is I put 3 Titanic Hydras on Sivir, whose passive was Ricochet, and basically steamrolled the game, and it was like, yeah, sure enough, we can't ship this. So that was probably the craziest thing.
I think it's more like a Kali is a crazy thing I never see, and the Exodia ones for me.
Yeah.
I love the onset one, the Exodia. Is like the first experience I have with them is like, oh my god, I have all the sharks on the table, and that was a really great to do the first time ever see a thing.
There was also the video of 3-star Karthus with 2 death caps and like a tier or something. So basically like the round started and it instantly killed everything.
Yeah. And how much time it is? How long it takes them to incorporate every chapter in the table and also in the game? How much time to produce them?
How much time to produce a set? Or the whole game?
The whole game.
Yeah, so let's see. From the start of its inception, I think the total development time was about 5 months. That's like, if you start the conversations with Medler and some of the other leads at the company, figuring out what we were going to build and if we were going to do it, because there was a lot of debate of like, should it be done in League? Should it be done separately? Who should do it? And then once it was decided to do it within League, we grabbed the people. They did some early prototyping really fast, which was really cool to see. And then that went into like full production. So yeah, a decent amount of time though.
Okay, thanks. It's hard to think and to play at the same time. But,
isn't it? It really is. Like, I've done this enough now to know that like you got to give a lot of credit to streamers because it is hard to play and think at the same time.
Yes, it's so hard. And this question is very good. I was hearing the another podcast, and you talk about the mini legend challenger and why you don't give the challenger people a mini legend.
Yeah. So realistically, I mean, it's one of the dirty things to talk about, but we talk about it all the time. Is that we are a company and we do have to make money in order to pay people to keep working on the game, right? Our goal is to do that in the most fair way possible, right? Where it's like optional things that don't affect power. We saw this on League of Legends with skins. Skins was a pretty fair way to generate revenue. And so for us, that's Little Legends. Now, for Little Legends to keep generating revenue, we have to keep it separate so that it is something that you do on the side, right? Like, if I gave you a really cool Little Legend for hitting Challenger, the real talk is you'd never buy another Little Legend again. And if you never bought another Little Legend again, the company can't make money, and that means we can't make the game. And like I said, it's part of the reality of game development.
Okay. And part of the make a mini legend is hard to create for zero, I think. A mini legend. And I remember some questions I made to you on your first streamings, and this is, why do you don't make the fandom challenge to make their own mini legends?
Okay, yeah. So Little Legends right now is something still pretty new as far as a content type goes. And what's interesting is, like, if you look at skins, right? Look at the first year of skins we made at League of Legends. A lot of them were pretty bad and pretty awful. We were trying to figure out what makes a good skin. The same thing is true of Little Legends. We're still trying to figure out what makes a good Little Legend, how it should be working, things like that. So I think the big thing for us is going to be figuring out our sort of development process on Little Legends, figuring out what makes a good one, what makes not a good one. Once we have that really solid, then we can be like, okay, cool, now we can open it up to other ideas, because it'll be easier to take that and sort of fit it into our framework. So.
Okay, give me a second.
Sure.
I'm searching for something. Oh, there it is. Okay, sorry, I'm a little nervous.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Thanks. And okay, do you meet in the All Stars some people of Latin America? Also, my friend, it's called Solo Feeders.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the players of Latin America? It's very sad. See the reviews of a lot of people of the world, and they say, okay, this is the meta of Brazil, this is the meta in NA, this is the meta in Europe, this is the meta in Korea. But I never hear some talk about Latin America and the players. And we are so good players. Also, the last set and the last set, someone on Latin America have the number one player of the world like 5 months. So I don't know why the people don't talk about Latin America. What do you think about that?
Sure. So I don't know as much about the different regions, but what I will say is my experience with Latin America has been that they have probably the most passionate fan base. Anytime one of their competitors is on, they get a lot of attention, a lot of hype. We saw, for example, I think it was Twitch Rivals, and sorry if I get this wrong, but Jay Schritt wasn't invited to to the Invitational, and that was pretty upsetting. Yeah. As far as like why though, it's kind of beyond my expertise. Like why, I don't really know. But again, from my experience, LATAM fans are incredibly passionate, and I think it's good to always have at least one or two of their players there. Now, as far as the skill differential goes, that I think is just non-existent. Like the perception that the NA is better than EU or LATAM is better than NA or anything like that. I think that's just incorrect. What I would love to do personally is take like the top 5 challengers from each region and have them do a tournament. I think that'd be a lot of fun and hype for sort of that like regional pride.
I love it.
The logistics of that though are beyond my understanding. I don't actually know what that would take. I'm not a tournament organizer. We have different people that do that. So.
Yes. Okay, let's see. And that's the next question. A few week ago, I asked to you about what about the fandom tournament, like your best 4 players of NA and my best 4 players of LATAM, no?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little bit hard to do that right now.
Yep.
Because there is so many players right now on LATAM and fighting for be the top 5. And it's really hard to talk with them because they have a harsh comportment, little flammers.
Okay.
And it's not good. It's not good because I think they have the whole game and third game, and there is only me and me. I don't know how to say it on English, but I think the LATAM is so fandom. Let me search the thing. I made the question here.
Sure.
When there is more elo, there is more pressure for each player, and it is difficult to contact them because the thing is that it's the joke. That's why I can't talk too much with the high elo players on LATAM. Only I have the top 6, 7, and 14 on Latam. I can talk about have a good tournament.
Okay, yeah, like I said, I'm not going to be super helpful in that area.
Yeah, I know.
But what I can say is, like, definitely what it takes to be, like, a top 5 player is a lot of commitment and a lot of time and, you know, a different mentality towards games. And so I think there will be different challenges, you know, with setting something like that up. You know, because even just being a top challenger just means, like, you've got a lot of time to play the game and things like that. But it doesn't necessarily mean, like, you can travel, right? You might be in school. We've got younger kids who are actually really good at the game. So just different things to take into account.
Okay, next question.
Sure.
A fanatic generated from set 1 and was reaffirmed in the set 2. It was separated the casual player from the hardcore player, and the hardcore player want to know is begin activity challengers need something beyond the bullying generated by the low players.
Sorry, so the question is the difference between high elo and low elo players?
No, the question is, it's being a challenger player means something on TFT?
Being a challenger player... Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding.
Okay. Let me question again. A little nervous, sorry.
No, it's fine. Like I said, the fact that you're speaking multiple languages is a challenge, so... Very well done there.
I lost part of my memory, so I don't remember. I learned English, Russian, and Korean speaking.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember when I learned that language. So I'm trying to don't translate to Spanish them. So I just speak it them.
Yeah, no worries.
So
do what you gotta do. Just trying to help out.
Being a challenger means something in TFT?
Being a challenger means something in TFT? Yeah, it means a lot.
Because a lot of players of casual LoL, they hate them. Also, some people
oh, I
hate
see.
me because...
You're saying, like, the perception between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Because...
So what I'll comment on is, like, it's been really interesting to see the reaction of League of Legends players to TFT. Right? Like, there's actually been a decent amount of animosity towards TFT players for some reason. Don't really understand why. I think part of it is because there's this perception that, like, if we're working on TFT, we're not working on League. And so there's sort of like you're taking away our development time from the game we love, which isn't correct, but I can understand the perception. The other aspect is just, like, yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought. But TLDR, like, it definitely means something. It takes a lot of skill and commitment to reach Challenger in TFT. It's a different skill set than League, right? League is a lot more about action, reaction time, things like that. Whereas TFT is much more about systemic understanding. If you're probably better at math and logic, you're probably better at TFT than you are at League. So again, it's just a different skill test. And I think it's okay to have multiple skill tests in the same game.
I agree with that because TFT helped me to recover my memory, and I didn't know that that's really that's awesome because every time I play TFT, I was helping to remember the things on my past. When I go to my therapy, my psychology therapist, they tell me, "Hey, why do you become fast recovery to spell all the things and talk about and your past?" And I say, "Oh, what do you do?" I just play LOL and just play TFT. What is that? And
Gotcha.
they say, "Okay, this is the game and this is LOL." and they say, "Oh, still you have to play like 8 hours to per day because it's helping to you so much." And they say, "What? Yes, it's helping to you so much to remember your past playing TFT." And they say, "Okay, let's play the 8 hours like per day." And that's due to recover my memory, and that helped me a lot. That's why I love TFT.
Oh, makes sense. I mean, like I said, it's one of the reasons I enjoy the game as well, is because it tests the logic and systemic understanding. I think some of the best TFT players are the ones that actually can innovate as well. Because there is one thing about like looking up a build and just playing, the thing that you read about, but it's another to look at the game and go, okay, based on everything I understand, what should be good, how do I interact with it? And so, like, I have a lot of admiration, especially for the people who develop new builds.
It's going to separate with the future ROM from TFT?
The only plan to separate the two modes is, like, mobile. Mobile will be sort of its own thing. Now, keep in mind, it'll still play with the people who are on live as well. But no, right now, because we use League's engine, it's too much to really separate it.
Irene wants to come on Monday.
Sorry, hang on a second.
No, sorry.
Can you have Liam juice? Can you ask Mommy for Liam juice?
Dad, Irene wants to come on Monday.
Okay. Monday is good. Shut the door, please. Sorry, my son came in.
Yeah, it's good,
Okay,
Don't
yeah,
worry.
so go ahead.
Okay. Some people they're asking you to use so much about the set 3, and I want to know. I don't want to know anything about set 3 because it's gonna be great. If set 1 it was amazing, set 2 is really good. Mm-hmm. It's only for hardcore players because the casual players don't understand so much about TFT, and that's why I'm gonna ask you about if you're gonna make a tutorial before set 3.
Yeah, so there will be a slight tutorial. We are working on one, especially because the launch of mobile. It will be important that there is a tutorial, as you mentioned. The one thing I'll say, though, is like tutorial design is often a pretty tricky thing to do. A lot of people sort of infer that, a tutorial is something that just like tells you how to play the game. But a lot of the skills can't really be taught in a tutorial. We find that the best games, the way they actually work is players find an interest in the core and then go, okay, I'm going to go play more of that and learn about it and read about it. And like, that's kind of the interesting thing. So, like, when I see people ask me, like, hey, is there going to be a tutorial that explains how all the AP ratios work? Well, no, that's not really something a tutorial should be explaining. Well, is there going to be a tutorial that explains, like, hey, you should get 3 and match them to level up? Yeah, for sure. So, again, it's really just different people's expectations of what a tutorial is.
Yeah, and give me a second. Okay, there it is. No more mistakes on my comp. That is the next questions. What do you feel is the soul of TFT?
The soul of TFT?
Yeah, what makes
sure.
it a good game?
Yeah, so like I said, to me, TFT is about the excitement of randomness and how a player can adapt to it using strategic thinking. That's kind of the soul. And so we're always looking for new ways to make the adapting to randomness fun, because inherently a lot of competitive players also find randomness to be less fun, especially League players. This is one of the things I think separates League and TFT, is because some players don't like dealing with random. But again, that's kind of the heart of the game, is like adapting to that situation. So
okay. And what about the new characters and skins?
Mm-hmm.
Will be for you made up for a special anniversary on TFT?
I mean, as we get there, I think for sure. The game's only, like 6 months old right now? So
yeah.
Realistically, that's the other thing too, is like a lot of people think we have like this roadmap that's like 3 years down the road. But the real truth is like game development is often done on the fly, right? We're sort of reacting to how things are playing out. And so a lot of it's reactionary, right? The needs of the players will change as time goes on. And so we want to keep an eye on that and be flexible, ready to change at a moment's notice. So the real answer is like, I don't know what our plans are a year from now, 2 years from now, because they'll change based on how many people are playing the game, how much enjoyability there is. So yeah.
Okay. But they have the fandom, no? And it's great, no?
Yeah, but even with the current fan base we have, like we're still trying to learn exactly like, because even some of our most excited challenger players are like, God, there's a lot of change. I don't know if I can keep playing the game as much as I am. Like, are we changing too much? Are we changing too little? Are we changing the right amount? So yeah, it's an interesting thing that we're still trying to solve.
Okay, and constantly the people ask you about more mini legends, more arenas, more more change, more buff, more nerfs. What do you feel about that? I remember Twitter that there was you saying about that, about your was sad, I think, because they are making a lot of things, and in the one time you're making a lot of things, and you trying to make all the people happy, and you can't make all the people happy. How do you feel right now about all the things the people asking you so many times? Things.
So as far as players asking us lots of things, like honestly, that's a good thing, right? Because like if people are excited about what's coming in the game, that's a good thing. And that's one of the reasons why I'm totally fine like answering the same question over and over, for example, is because all that means is like people are excited to play the game. And that's a good thing, right? Like we want that. So, you know, and the other thing too is like not everyone is as connected all the time, right? Like how often are you playing the game and paying attention to everything changes person to person. So, sorry, I'm getting distracted with what I'm trying to build here. But
yeah, I don't know what I'm making my comp right now, but I'm winning.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Cool. I think we got time for like 2 more questions.
Yes, 2 more questions. Do you have a plan to make the? Okay, let's see. Give me a second.
Sure.
I have a note here about that question. I forgot. Okay. Do you have any plans to create something in Latin America, like you? Here we don't have something like you.
Well,
like a Twitter page.
Yeah, so people have talked about that also. Like, for example, one of our biggest markets is China, and, you know, I don't speak Chinese. So same kind of thing, right? Like, different markets don't all have access to someone like me. The real answer is, I don't think so. Something I do is... I do it on my own as just, like, something I thought would be fun to do and something people would enjoy. So I'm not sure anyone else is as informed enough to do it for the other regions. So I think the bigger challenge for us would be finding a way to make it more accessible for other regions. I'm going to try to find a Skarner. I mean, I'm going to lose this game anyway, but...
Okay. Really, I don't know what I...
Damn it, couldn't find a Skarner. Alright, well, to try to prevent myself from dying... Okay, so yeah, one more question?
Yes, give me a second. I'm
Yeah, you're also trying not to die.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yep.
Do you like to troll Reddit and other media a lot? So what do you make? Do you make a time to pass to all medias to talk with people like me? Do you how to say it? It's not your job.
Correct.
So why do you make it this?
So why do I do it?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Again, so I've been a fan of games for a long time, and I was interested in game design and things like that. And so for me, it's like the idea of a developer talking to me would have been amazing, right? And so now that I am a developer, I thought it'd be only fair to do the same thing I would want, right? Because like it's a really simple life rule of treat other people the way you want to be treated. So again, it's just something I thought would be fun to do, so I started to try it, and if people like it, I'll keep doing it, and if not, I won't. So pretty simple, straightforward.
Okay, sorry, dude. This is was my revenge of the past the game. You winning.
Yeah, you just wrecked me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nothing personal.
Oh, no worries. Okay, cool. So I think that's going to do it for the interview.
Yeah, it's good. And what do you few words? Okay. Let's think. Okay, what words do you want to say to community Latin community?
So from everyone who works on TFT, thank you so much. Like I said, a big thing for us is just having people excited to play the game keeps us going, and we love hearing from you. So if you ever have any feedback or things you want to see changed or talk about, hit us up, and we love hearing about it. So yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for the interview. Thank you very much for your time. I hope this interview will be in the anniversary of the TFT.
Sure.
Again.
All right.
And thank you very much. God bless you and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Okay. Cool. So that's going to do it for me. Do I have any plan to open the League Partner Program again this year? I think they do. I don't know for sure. It's not something I have much insight into. Okay, for those who stuck around, thank you so much. Hopefully today was fun. I might be back tomorrow. It depends on how much work I get done. Yeah, it's really just going to depend on how much, because I have to go to work tomorrow to get the patch ready. So if I can do both, I'm going to try to make that happen. So stream tomorrow is a maybe. Otherwise, thank you again for watching. Hope you had fun. And as for the spoiler, so I did mention that Riot Jag worked on 3 new champions over the break, right? He got those all prototyped. It was really cool to see. I think there's a 2, 3, and 5 cost, which is pretty cool. So
muchas gracias por haber escuchado esta visión. Sí, así terminó todo. Y espero que les haya gustado. A mí me encantó. Hasta luego. Bye.